What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. All right, so you already know for the last yesterday and the day before, for the last couple of days, it's been, an ongoing issue with the media talking about Kawhi Leonard and his load management and all that type of stuff. And that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to get straight right into. You already know. It's just like what I was saying from before, like a lot of people, especially when it comes to media, they don't give context. They don't understand a lot of these things, and they just make these statements based off whatever, right? So basically what's happening is that Kawhi Leonard got himself, he was injured. He had 2 injuries. You know what I'm saying? That's what people are forgetting. He had 2 injuries. He had 1 injury from when he was with the Spurs, which was the right quad, right? That was the right quad where, all that happened with the Spurs. And then he had another injury with the Raptors, which was the left knee that you seen when he went up versus the Bucks, and he went up on that layup in game 3. He went for that, for the dunk or whatever. And he's and he had his left knee. And then from there, that's when he was hobbled. And that's the left knee he was icing. And he was put in the heat pad on during the Raptors regular season that you've seen me shown time and time again that he'll do every time he'll go to the bench, because his left knee was the one that probably was giving him wear and tear. And that's the one that's currently injured. You know what I'm saying? As you could see from the season, right? That's why they were trying to load manage him, because of the knee. They don't want him to put so much fatigue and so much impact on the knee that affects him in the playoffs when it's shorter games and you have to play every game. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole IQ and the whole logic behind Kawhi, because he knows I need to be fresh. And as you could see in the playoffs, now that knee was coming to bite him. And imagine he didn't rest those 22 games or whatever the case was, he would haven't been able to fight through the playoffs with the injury, because he was playing hobbled in the playoffs, which is why you seen him even fight through when he dunked on Giannis with the left hand, and you seen him hobbling. Like, that wasn't made up. You seen how his game was more fresh or in Orlando, and how his takes started getting more grounded as the series went on, even as the playoffs went on. Even though he was fighting through, you could see he started limping after every time you'll push, because it's adrenaline. You're gonna, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna fight through, but it's pain right after that moment. You get what I'm saying? And you could see that's what was happening with Kawhi. So to clear up a lot of media and what they're saying with this whole, oh my God, why is he load managing and all this type of stuff and what's going on here? Like, you know me, I'm a realist. At the end of the day, if Kawhi's in the wrong, Kawhi's in the wrong. But so there's 2 things. So before we get into the history with all of that, what happened, which is given uproar between the league, is that the season just started. It's 8 games. He already's missing a quarter. He missed 2 games. Well, he played, I think it's 9 games now. He played 3 games. But before that, it was 8 games. He missed 2 of the 8 games, which is already missed a quarter. You know what I'm saying? Obviously the math. And why is he load managing? How's he already missing back to back? Not only that, the context was, it was a big game. It was the Giannis versus Kawhi repeat of what happened last year in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Of the conference finals. And it was a national televised game. And they had a back-to-back national televised game, Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday, he missed that game. And obviously people are in an uproar because they want to see Kawhi. And not only that, it's not like it's the Clippers with Kawhi and PG. There's already no PG. So no, Kawhi just makes it. There's no superstar on the court. There's no matchup. There's no marquee matchup. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are just going to be tuned out, etc. Right? So obviously you never want to see that as a fan of the game. Understood. But he's not, people are acting like, he's just load management. And not only that, they're taking in to the context of the fact that before coming into the season, he said, I'm going to be more ready this year. I'm going to play more games. There's not really going to be a load management. That's kind of what he was speaking. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the frustrations with the fan, with the media, where it's like, he basically lied to us. Understood. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand, like, people got to understand something. Players are strategic. If I talk about myself and load management this upcoming season, that moment I already get roasted. I already get, my name is already get tarnished at that point of time. So he's not gonna, and not only that, he doesn't want to talk about that at that moment when the nigga just signed with the Clippers. He doesn't want to bring turmoil already to a situation that he's not even fully entered. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's obviously he's probably gonna lie and pump fake and whatever the case is. And technically maybe he was thinking, I'm gonna be better this year, until when, he was doing training camp and he was doing this and he didn't get that much rest. And it's like his heel actually didn't heal as much. Hence why he didn't play in the training camp. All of this is lining up. Like, as time goes on, you could see the actions show you that it was always there, but he was hopeful that it wouldn't be there. And then it's still there. So now they're doing precautions like the Raptors did the previous year. You know what I'm saying? So that's the context what happened. Now, also at the same time, Doc Rivers made the Lakers team get fined based off of his comments, $50,000, because their medical report shows that there's some type of injury, there's something lingering around, but his statements before the game, the day before or whatever, where he's like, but he's nothing wrong with his knee, he's healthy, whatever, like trying to shut it down, obviously gave conflict, brought contradicting statements in the NBA's eyes. They're like, what, the medical report says this, but your coach is saying this? No, something's going on. Fine. Understood. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But the media's outtake on it is where I have the problem with. I'm here to clear stuff up and give people the context. So that's the timeline of what's going on within Kawhi's injury load management situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what's going on. But at the end of the day, right now, media, they're all talking about how's he load managing? What's he doing? What's going on? He's not even playing, did this and all this type of stuff. Like, this is terrible. There's no real injury. He just played yesterday. He just played versus the Clippers. There's nothing. He just played versus the Blazers. There's no injury. There's no this. Nah, he's just lying. If you just want to sit him on back to back, just say that. That's this. Yeah. Listen, I'm trying to tell people, like, not everybody in the media does this, but there's a lot of people in the media. If you watch the media, you know who I'm talking about. I don't need to call no names. You know what I'm saying? But people in the media that they have a hidden agenda when it comes to certain players, because if that player is shed a great light upon him, that automatically is going to tarnish a different player's light. And you know who I'm talking about. All always comes down to LeBron James. This is not LeBron James himself. This is the people who are the spokesperson, the advocates, you know what I'm saying? The LeBron apologists. Those people are the people who we're talking about. They're all over the media. You know what I'm saying? This is how LeBron's image could stay at this certain level. It can't be just him, because he's not talking to the media every day. It's people around him or people who he doesn't even talk to, who just love him, that create this type of LeBron media. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with LeBron. It's just the people who are supporting LeBron. They always have a hidden agenda. When it comes to Kawhi, they praise Kawhi when we don't have to talk about LeBron. But the minute LeBron is eating, or the minute they want to shed the light on LeBron, they take away the light from other people. So now they use every opportunity they can. That's why you hear them say, if LeBron was to sit out 2 games or 3 games, but oh my God, but look at Kawhi. No, they start roasting Kawhi. You understand? It's different context. LeBron is not injured. LeBron is not injured. If LeBron was not injured, first of all, let's give context. Every single player, whether you're healthy, whether you're injured or whether you're not, near the end of the season, you do load management. You take a 1-2 games off, which is why a lot of people since the back then, in those eras, in Jordan eras and Kobe and them, haven't played 82 games until recently when they're trying to prove a point. Because always at the end of the season, what do? They don't have, we're not playing for no record. Sit. That's technically load management. You get what I'm saying? But people don't want to open their eyes to that. LeBron been doing that when he was on the Cavs, when he was on Miami, because their record was solid. You don't need to play the last 3 games or the last 2 games or whatever. That's technically load management. Obviously, it's not the same load management as of you miss strategic this amount of games and every time it's a back-to-back or whatever the case is. But you're still, your load is being managed. You're still sitting out without an injury. That's the main context. You're sitting out without an injury. Now, if LeBron is injured or not injured and he just sits out and he does load management when he's not injured, that's obviously the context they're talking about. But that's not happening with Kawhi. Kawhi's not healthy and just sitting out. It's not like the man is healthy and he's just like, I'm just going to load my management to preserve myself. People it's like they pick and choose stuff that they want to apply to make this person seem bad. Look at what's happening. Kawhi is injured. But he can play through his injury because his injury is something that is always going to be there. It's a wear and tear injury. You know what I'm saying? You can tell. People who have knee issues, they know what it is. I've had knee issues too. You go do MRIs. They tell you it's wear and tear. Wear and tear you can't heal. You do things to prevent the soreness. You know what I'm saying? You do things to heal the soreness or heal the inflammation or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, wear and tear is always going to be there. It's wear and tear. So what they try to do is they try to manage his load. You know what I'm saying? So the wear and tear doesn't catch up to him at the wrong point of the season, which is the playoffs. That's why they're load managing his load, because he has an injury that's never going away. That's what people are missing and they're not understanding. You get what I'm saying? The right quad injury, what that was in the Spurs, the people are like, oh, the NBA is just mad, or the Clippers are mad that, you know what I mean, they don't want the Spurs to know what's really going on with him, or the Spurs already knew, but now this and that. That's not what happened with the Spurs. You get what I'm saying? With the Spurs literally was like, you have a right quad injury, understood. He's like, I don't know, I just don't feel right. They said, you have a timetable, right quad injury, you know what I mean? It should be healed after this amount of time. That time came up. He's like, I don't feel right. I don't feel good. No, you're healed. You're tripping. Like, what are you talking about? Tony Parker came back faster. Did this. And that's when he's like, what the hell? You're going to question me like I'm lying? You think I want to just sit here and not play? Like, Kawhi's a guy. He'll play. Like, come on now. He's not the type of guy that's just, I'm just sitting out. You know what I'm saying? So he felt that he was injured and they're giving him, wrong diagnosis. So that's what happened with the Spurs. That was on the right quad, the right leg. That's nothing to do with the knee that's happening now. That was the right quad. It's not his right knee that you see that is injured. No, it's the right quad. Now, when that happened, obviously he left, took the whole year out. Now he left, went to the Raptors and felt good. But then obviously within that process, he probably did his whole body and he knew his knees, probably both, out of maybe just the left or maybe both. It probably is both. Normally when it's wear and tear, it's not just going to be one knee unless you specifically banged it, you know what I mean, against something, and that's what created the injury. Most times when it's wear and tear, it's both knees because both are doing the same type of movements. Both are having a load. It's just your body. You just have wear and tear in those knees, which meaning you're playing too much, you're doing this, etc., etc. Hence why he's doing load management, because he's trying to correct the wear and tear as much as he can, or preserve it as much as he can for when he needs to use it the most, which is the playoffs. So that's what's happening within now. It's clearly he has that in his medical reports, but it's not saying nothing because at the end of the day, you need, in order to load manage, you have to have some type of injury or be coming back from some type of injury. You know what I'm saying? And that's the context. And I don't know why everybody just chooses to ignore the fact that the man is injured. Clearly, he's injured. You've seen him hobble in the damn playoffs. We've seen him because obviously we watch them every game. But a lot of these guys, I don't know, they haven't seen him. They're trying to create some type of story and some type of false narrative against Kawhi, you know what I'm saying, in order to obviously enlighten and heighten LeBron, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they're doing. And obviously I know hidden, I can smell it. I can see it in their eyes, because when you reference LeBron and you all the time, and I see what you're doing, I see through it, man. I see through it. I'm telling y'all, I see through it. I see through it. Always want to put him on a pedestal. Understood. He's an elite player. But at the end of the day, just talk about Kawhi and give context about Kawhi, like how you give context about LeBron, about everything. If the man if the man missed the shot, he slept on the wrong side of the bed. Give that same context for every player that you give for him. I'm tired of it, man. It's getting out of hand, man. It's actually getting out of hand. So like I said, I try to give people information and enlighten people with what's going on. The Spurs injury was a complete different injury. Now, I'm not saying complete different in the sense of it might not connect. It probably could connect, because the quad injury now, you know what I'm saying, because you have a quad injury and your quads are weak and you've probably been playing through it for a while, it's going to create more wear and tear on your knees even faster because your quads aren't working correct. They're kind of, they lock. They're interchangeable. They kind of, go hand in hand with those injuries, especially with the quad. If your quads are weak and there's something going on with your quad, automatically the more pressure on your knees. You know what I'm saying? And it goes hand in hand. This is something like I know. If you know me, I know. This is what I've been dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So the hip, quads, knees, all interline. You know what I'm saying? So I already know that's kind of what's going on with Kawhi at the end of the day. But people don't see it. So that's why it's called load management. He's trying to manage his load to preserve himself. That's all he's trying to do. And hence why his decision was, I'm not coming to you, Clippers, unless you get a star. Why? So I could load manage even more. I have less load even more. I could preserve myself even more. And I don't have to snap. Like, that's Philadelphia shit I'm never doing again. That nigga almost broke his whole body. Shooting 40 shots. Man's palms are sweaty. He knows. Like, I can see it in his face. Sat down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see it in his face. He's like, I'm not doing this shit ever again. Clippers, I'm not coming to you unless you get a superstar. Unless you get Paul George. Raptors, I'm not coming to you unless you get Paul George. You get what I'm saying? That's what's going on. And that's everything is, you can see the pattern of everything. And only if you read between the lines, you know the truth. A lot of people don't have the eyes to see the truth, or they know the truth, but they have a different agenda, which is to nice LeBron. So I'm going to, create a false narrative on him to enlighten or heighten my guy. And that's what's going on here. If you could see through it. I see through it. That's what's going on. I'm just here to give man's context because, I give it a context. You feel me? So at the end of the day, like, again, I have no issue with load management. There's types of load management. That's the context. There's load management where you're actually injured and you're managing your load so you could be ready when it actually matters. Meaning that's actually a selfless act, because someone who is selfish would actually go for MVP, go for all the awards, and play during the regular season to shit the bed in the playoffs, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It should be a team thing. I don't have to snap, get all the individual accolades. But he's being selfless. He's saying, I don't care about that shit. I'm sacrificing on my own legacy, because regular season awards do matter. You know what I'm saying? They matter to a certain extent. I'm removing all of that just so I could win rings, which means it's more team aligned. That's what he's doing. He's being selfless, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Because he could literally just go for the awards and just be broke up in the playoffs. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We need more help type of stuff. He could do that. He even could have did that with the Raptors, a team that he wasn't even trying to stay with, or whatever the case is, that he just got shipped there. And the man still carried like it was his actual team, like he'd been there for 9 years. Can people understand? Like, I don't want to hear this bullshit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that type of load management, or there's the other load management where it's like, you know what? I'm going to prevent an injury moving forward. I'm healthy, but I just want to prevent an injury. That's where that's whack, because every game you play, you're technically injury risk. So that's where that's okay. That's where it's like, no. What are you talking about load management? When you're healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's the context they're trying to bring LeBron into versus Kawhi. No. LeBron been healthy. He only had one injury, basically, his groin, and he didn't play. If he's healthy, and there's been times LeBron has been healthy and he goes, I might have a sore back, or he says random stuff to sit out. He's been, and then go to Miami for 2 weeks and get re-healthy, or get, whatever he did, which we're not going to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And he's been doing that, and no one says nothing. So I don't want to hear these guys always bringing up this nigga's name. I'm tired of it, yo. I'm tired of it. Kawhi, please don't try, stop. Just allow him. He's the best player in the league. Stop trying to push this agenda. Obviously, KD's number one, but KD's injured, so Kawhi's number one. LeBron is right there, obviously, but he's not number one because defense matters. Defense matters. You know what I'm saying? You can't say LeBron's the best player for all these years because he's the best two-way player. He does everything, passes, assists, does everything. Kawhi now, his passing is elite now. All of a sudden, he's there getting 7-8 assists. His scoring is obviously better than LeBron's because he doesn't score only in specific situations. He scores at an unlimited level. You know what I'm saying? All three levels. And his defense is way better than LeBron. So how is LeBron better than him? When his weakness, he improved to almost below LeBron's level. LeBron's averaging 10, 11 assists. The man's averaging 7-8. LeBron for his whole career was averaging 7-8. And they said he's an elite passer. Now he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Like, I don't want to hear this shit, man. Come on now. It's Truth Talks, because Truth Talks, all I do is spit facts, man. There's no LeBron hate here, whatever. This is not LeBron the person, because this nigga don't care about this shit. He's trying to win his ring. He's trying to do what he's got to do with the Lakers, which he's doing. But I know these media guys who are associated with him, not saying they talk with him or anything like that. They love LeBron, so they're always going to ride for LeBron, and they're going to push him to this pedestal. You get what I'm saying? And they're going to find a way to switch the convo and the narrative into LeBron's favor, even when he's not even part of it. The reason why they do that is because Kawhi is a threat to LeBron. Same place, same building, same, you know what I mean? Same situation, same position, player versus player. Who's better? People are saying Kawhi, especially because he won the finals, all this type of stuff. LeBron's having a resurgent season. You know what I'm saying? He's having a comeback season. So obviously they're going to, you know what? Nah, load manager, see, this nigga's even weak. How can he be in the conversation for the best player? He only playing this amount of games. Nah. But yet when LeBron played 55 games last year, the same amount, basically, they still had him number one. So they contradict themselves always. But anyways, we're not going to get into that. That's a whole different conversation. But at the end of the day, it's not LeBron the person. It's the media people around him that is creating this. And they're just trying to suss Kawhi. And at the end of the day, I'm just here to shed the light on it. You know what I'm saying? And you know me, if Kawhi's in the wrong, I'll say Kawhi's in the wrong. I'm a realist at the end of the day. Don't matter who it is. My favorite player, my not favorite player. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So anyways, it's Truth Talks. It's Truth Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no drought here and there's no doubt here. You feel me? Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'm out, man.